You are now listening to Trans Talk with JC Best and Dina Marie.
Hi, I'm Dina Marie.
We're just talking about trans shit.
I did not come to play with you hoes. I came to slay, bitch.
Most people who are trans have been through hell and high water.
The hardest part about being a woman is figuring out what to wear.
Yeah, buddy. You know what that music and that sound means. It's Sunday at 8 p.m. It's time for Trans Talk, baby. How was that?
Welcome to Trans Talk.
How was my JC?
Amazing.
Oh, okay, good.
Welcome
I worked
to
on that all week.
Trans Talk. I'm Dina Marie, and joining me tonight is my co-host, my best friend, Jeff Manno. JC is away performing your gig this week.
What's up, guys? How are you?
What's up?
What's going on? How was your weekend?
It was great. You know, I worked, and then today I just hung out with James. We went out, we had some drinks, saw some of his friends, our friends, and it was a lot of fun. And
Oh, well, that sounds good. This is Dina's weekend, everybody. Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
Those are her 2 days off.
I love being off.
We work together at the Broadway Comedy Club.
We do.
That's how we met.
Broadway Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Now I'm the princess of Broadway.
So she thinks. You know who runs the show, y'all. You know who runs the show, y'all.
Jeff is the one that really runs the show.
All right, so I guess we should get started by talking about how we know each other, no?
Yeah.
How we met?
Let's do that.
All right, this is not a coincidence that I'm here today. Dina and I have been friends now for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago, I started working at Broadway Comedy Club.
We didn't even like each other.
I know. Well, it's so funny because
You thought I was
if
a
you've
bitch.
you've seen previous episodes, we're kind of opposite of you and JC. Because you
Yeah.
didn't like JC at first, no?
I didn't.
Isn't that
I
how
thought
it
he was
works?
sort of a douchebag, yeah.
Yeah. So I started working at Broadway Comedy Club like 2 years ago. And, man, it was hard to get to like Dina Marie. I'm going to be completely and totally honest with you.
Well, I'm a super shy person, so I think at first you probably thought like I was like really shut off and a stuck up bitch. But like when you got to know me, you probably realized she's not a stuck up bitch. She's just shy. And like once I got to know you, we hit it off like really well.
Well, you kind of, we're going to keep it honest, you kind of work at being a bitch, no?
Oh well.
No.
I worked real hard and I've earned that.
No, so we met. It took a minute for us to get to know each other. Man, I tried really, really, really hard. Really, really hard with Dina. We only watch one show. We have one show in common that we watch on TV. Man, every
Empire.
single week I came in to work and didn't know what else to say besides, did you see Empire this week? And then followed up with, what you think? And said nothing again until, here's my money, are you ready to cash me out? But
thank God we made it past. How did we get? What was the first?
so Broadway Comedy Club, every year, Al Martin, he has Broadway Comedy Club
yeah,
and
that's
Greenwich
right.
Village Comedy Club.
That's
So
the party where.
So every year he has a combined party at Broadway Comedy Club. It's a holiday party. It's really, really fun. But it was my first one, and I showed up, and I was the only person from the staff in the building besides, I believe, you. Oh, and Gina Savage. Shout out.
Well,
We
the
love
staff,
Gina
like,
Savage.
never comes, so I was so happy actually when I saw you come in because there was somebody that I knew there, and I think, I don't think I ever told you this, but I saw you and I started talking. I think we felt the same way.
Yeah. And, I didn't even know that many comics at the time. It was pretty fresh to work in there. I was probably there maybe like 5 months?
Yeah, it was
6, 7, like something like that. I started there July.
Yeah, like 5 months.
So it was the holiday party. I don't know. So we started talking. I said, Jeff, you've talked to everybody you know and made the small talk with comics and the 1 or 2 staff members that you know. This girl looks like she's here to have a good time. You're here to have a good time. Yes, she is. And I was like, if you can't get to know her tonight and get to like her and not think that she's nothing but a bitch, it ain't never gonna happen.
Thank God it worked.
So let's make it happen. And then we shut the place down. Just you and I, and that was it. That's all she wrote.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And here we are.
There's something else.
What? What you want to talk about? Come on.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about it. So anyway, that's how we met.
There was something that happened that night.
Oh, okay. I thought she was talking about me.
So and so.
This has nothing to do with me. Let's make that clear. I have nothing to do with this. I said goodbye and that was it. Don't worry though, I ain't going to tell everybody. So then, ever since then, we became like really, really, really good friends.
Really close friends, and we hang out like every day.
Yeah, we're attached
if
at
we're
the
not
hip.
hanging out, we talk every day. Like,
Yeah, I don't think a day goes
can't
by.
Picture my life without you.
Oh, well, that's super sweet. I love you. We work together.
Yeah,
I think everybody hates us at work because
we just have our own thing.
yeah, we have our own
we
fun.
don't even need to really talk. We could just look at each other and like crack up, or
Yeah, we'll be
understand
standing in the
what you
corner of the bar area, or back by the bathroom, or by the podcast room, or something, and
people
dying laughing,
are
and people
dying.
be like, "There they are
You're
again."
like, what's going on?
There's Jeff and Dina.
He gets me. It's good. You
Awesome.
showed me what friendship really means. You've shown me.
Oh well, thank you.
Another minute.
Yeah, it took a minute for Dina to open up to me, but now we're super close. So, and now here we are on the show.
Yeah, you are
I-
fucking co-hosting.
This is not what I would have imagined I would be doing today, about a month ago. But I'm super excited to be here. Really, 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 really good friends with both Dina and JC.
I wonder how his gigs are going this week.
Yeah, JC's on a tour down south, right?
I'm not being rude. I'm just sharing it to my page, the show.
She's
So
just
that's-
sharing the
that's the only
disclaimer.
reason I'm looking at my phone. Everybody just
I believe he's down south, right? Like Georgia,
Like Atlanta or
and
something.
North Carolina, and South Carolina. He's doing his thing. So shout out to him. Just that opening thing was the only thing I'm going to do to roast you today, JC. I promise. That's going to be
You're
it.
lucky.
But Dina, after some things she said about me last week, I don't feel too safe for her.
Oh,
How are you feeling about that? Because you kind of came for me a little bit.
I don't remember coming for you. I think I only said good things. I thought.
No, she only said good things.
I love him, honestly. Jeff is my best friend, and if I said anything bad, I was probably just joking and being silly. And honestly, I would.
You know what's funny, too? I didn't like JC at first, either.
Well, you probably felt the same way as I do. He's sort of you can be a real dick, JC.
Oh, is that what you call it? Dina's keeping it light today for everybody that doesn't know JC personally. No, but he's down south. Thank you, JC, for letting me sit in for you. This is going to be super fun because we have an amazing guest coming.
We weren't going to do the show this week because I told JC I wouldn't do the show with anybody else. Except for Jeff, but Jeff said he wouldn't do it originally.
I did.
So
I said no at
so
first.
The show is going to be canceled because I refuse to do it with anybody else. Because you and Jeff are the only people that really make me comfortable. So when Jeff said he would do it, we decided, me and Jeff
I
decided
finally
we would do it.
decided, yes, I would do it. So I'm here for you.
We were hanging out and whatever. And
We don't need to repeat last week's story.
And then
Jeff
I
thought about it.
I texted JC when I was waiting for the train and said, I'm gonna do the show with Jeff. We decided, and JC was like, "What? Wow!" And I was like, "Yeah, I gotta keep you on your toes, boo."
JC's a little full of it because he was the one at first that was like, do it, do the show. And I was like, man, I'm not a personality like you. I'm not like,
Welcome to Trans Talk.
oh, we have guests. And by personality, I mean like extra, because we all know he can be a little extra, which is fine.
Yeah.
So
He
anyway,
can be pretty extra.
I've been a big supporter of the show because these are both really, really good friends of mine. I've come down here live quite a few
He's been
times.
down here like a lot of the shows.
Yeah, so this is my first time on this side. I supported they had a live show at Broadway Comedy Club that was really, really fun.
Yes, and once again, in a few weeks, we have a live show at Caroline's.
Yeah, we were
on
just going to
Wednesday,
get to
June
that.
21st
I've
at
support
7:30.
I've supported plenty of JC shows, and Dina's come to quite a few of my shows.
Yeah.
She comes out. She has to take off of work, so that's a big deal to me.
He has one this coming Tuesday.
I do. I have one this coming Tuesday. If anybody's around, it's at 107th and West End at the West End Lounge. It's a really amazing show. It's a comedy show.
Is it 7 or 7:30?
The doors open at 6:30, and the band plays from about 6:45 to 7:15. And then we have a comedy show, which has
really
music
great show.
included
I've been there
throughout.
before.
And then the band, we play some more after. They
I
call
love
us
it.
Jeff's house.
I took off to see it.
So even if you don't want to come for us,
such
Dina
a
Marie will be here
great,
this week.
Great show. Great.
So yeah. So anyway, as a supporter, now they have this Caroline show. Talk about it a little bit. Wednesday, June 21st.
Yeah, it's at Caroline's Wednesday, June 21st at 7:30.
Get there by 7 so you can see the awesome band, which we'll talk
Yeah.
about in a second.
The Lit Empire, they're playing.
Remind everybody.
band.
Yes.
It's
the-
Jeff's band, The Lit Empire.
Yeah.
Jeff and some of my other friends, Danny
And Kelsey and
Kelsey
Luke.
and
Shout
Luke.
out to all those guys. Andrew Grau.
amazing. They're really, really, truly a talented group of people.
It's a great group. It holds a special place in my heart because it's just a young, positive, caring,
Caring group of
fun.
people. They're really amazing and super, super, super talented.
Yeah, and we all became friends in a wedding band that we all perform in called the Metropolitan Players. Shout out. And the company grew. Aaron and Drew Coles, who started the company, really, really grew it to where we have, multiple weddings all the time. It's busy, yo.
Yeah, he's super busy. He's in his really busy season.
Yeah, I don't have a day
For him
off.
to even be
This
here
is my
tonight
day
to
off.
host with me is amazing because Sundays and Saturdays and Fridays he's normally super busy. So for you to be here is great.
Yeah.
I'm lucky it worked out. that
So
you
we
came
started
along.
this band so that way our crew, we became super good friends, and it's a group of people that I know through and through, support people of who they are in here and not anything else.
Yeah.
So we're super excited to be there, and we love the cause. Explain a little bit more about the Ali Forney
Yeah,
Center and the cause.
Yeah, it's benefiting the Ali Forney Center, which is a center for, I guess, LGBT youth. If they've been kicked out of their home by their parents or whatever for coming out, they support them and they can find them a place to live and, live there, whatever. So it's like a really good cause. So.
All of us are super, super, super happy to
'Cause
be there.
There's a lot of kids that aren't lucky enough to have parents that accept them.
And we have a lot of cool special guests coming, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about them?
Judy Gold, who is amazing. She's a comic and she's really great. And we have
Trans Francisco
Trans
coming, who is
Francisco.
already on
She's been
an
on,
episode
she
of the
was
show.
on our last live show, and she is
And
already
the live
been
show.
on an episode of our show. And then we have this doctor.
We have a doctor. We have a trans doctor, right?
Yeah, yes, amazing.
Who is trans and treats trans patients.
Patients, so it's amazing.
So it's going to be super cool. There's a whole
And there's also more. They'll
yes,
have
load
different
of guests.
performances and stuff. It's going to be really, really great. There's also some trans comics.
There's an event on Facebook. Go to Trans Talk with JC Bess and Dina Marie
and
on
look for
Facebook, and the event is right on there.
It's going to be a really great time, and it really supports a good cause. So we really hope that you all can come out.
And we're ready to bring it.
Yes.
We're giving. I don't want to give away too much. It's a cover party band, but we're ready for you guys. We're bringing you some Lady Gaga, some Ariana Grande. We're bringing you some Kelly Clarkson, some Kanye West, some Black Eyed Peas.
You won't tell me what he's playing.
I'm not going to tell her everything. It's supposed to be a surprise. We want to get them all amped up. No, not just the crowd. come, it's going to be a party. Caroline's Wednesday, June 21st. Come by 7. I got to say that. So that way they could see the band.
My mother is telling me to look at the comments on my post. What is
Oh.
this bitch writing?
All right, let's take a second and do that.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Janice. Hi, everybody that's watching. We love you. Yes, Janice. Yes, Mom.
Shout out to our Janice Massetti. She's a good friend of the show.
Yes, Janice is my hashtag anti-bitch. Hashtag anti-bitch. I love you.
She's an amazing entertainer.
And my mother is hashtag whorebag.
Yes, Lisa. We love Lisa too.
L to the Duffy.
So I had something that I kind of want to bring on here for a second. So I have a friend, a very, very good friend of mine. For 10 years, we went to college together, both to be singers and actors. Her name is Alexandra Ferrara. She's an amazing, 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 amazing person, soul, beautiful person, an amazing actress. She's a model. She's doing something really, really cool for Pride. So I want to give it a shout out. This is my note from her. It's through playbill.com. For those of you who don't know, it's a website for the theater community. You know, Broadway, off-Broadway shows.
Shows and stuff.
Yeah, theater.
Whenever you go to a Broadway show, you get a playbill.
Yes, that's where the idea of that website came from. So this is, don't mind me reading off my phone, but she had an idea to show the trans community to people through her eyes, you know, what she thinks they are, and that's successful, well-spoken, accomplished, and brave. So she pitched the idea of a video roundtable interview with 3 trans artists. I believe they're all actors and actresses to Playbill.com, and they were immediately on board, Playbill, which is awesome. And she's the creative director and producer of the shoot, and she moderates the discussion. The video is titled The Playbill Pride Roundtable Artists of Trans Experience. It's officially released on Playbill.com June 15th, which is this Thursday. It features herself as the moderator, 3 trans artists. And her little note is that the purpose of this project is to further education around the trans community. And this Thursday, June 15th, it'll be on Playbill.com. So we got to have, she couldn't be here tonight. Shout out Alexandra Ferrara. She wanted to come so bad. She had an engagement party, which is very, very, very important, that she had to go to. But hopefully we can get her and her guests to the Caroline show and get them down here one night.
Yeah, I would love that.
I think the cross promotion would be great.
Yeah, of course. We could both promote each other, and that would be great.
So I think that would be super fun. We'll make a whole thing out of it. So
yeah,
it's a couple cool things to look out for.
Like
fans
really
of the show.
A really great thing.
Yeah, and it's super, super, super supportive of the trans community. So that's something to look out for. That's exciting.
Yes, it sounds really good.
Do you think it's time to bring our guest on?
I think it's time to bring our amazing guest on.
Okay, so just a little background. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm a singer and a songwriter, as I'm sure you figured out from the band. And it took a little, digging to get me to do the show today. But here I am doing the show, and my one request that I had was I want to find a guest that is a trans musician. Most importantly, a singer. If I couldn't get a singer, a musician would be fine. But I just have so many questions and so many things I want to know as a singer and a musician myself. So I wanted to. That was my stipulation.
Robert.
Oh, we have friends in the house, y'all. Shout out to Robert Puncher. Quick plug, we have a lip sync or swim show, not to stray, but this Thursday night at Broadway Comedy Club that we co-produce. Both Dina and JC have participated on the show.
I did some Britney.
They're hilarious. I'm sure they'll be on it again soon, y'all, so check out that. So anyway, let's bring our guest on. He was sent to me by my bass player, Tim, his wife. They're an amazing couple. I love her. And I take their opinions so seriously. And she was like, you got to have him on the show. He's a rock star. He's amazing. He's a former student of mine. He's 19 years old, correct? 18 years old, which is awesome.
Amazing.
Feeling so comfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, Eden Quintero.
Woo!
What's going on? Got your mic? You ready to go?
Hi. Checking the mic.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
So I guess we should get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the nitty gritty here.
Well, my name's Eden. Yeah, as you said. I've been playing music for as long as I can remember. My dad was a musician and my mom was in love with music, so those two kind of count as the same in my book. So I grew up with music all the time, and I taught myself pretty much everything I know. And it was kind of like an important outlet I didn't realize I needed at the time. So growing up with that was
When do you think that was? Part?
when I started playing music
Yeah.
or learning.
Yeah, how old?
About 7 years old.
Okay.
Uh,
And you started with guitar?
I actually started with percussion with my dad.
Percussion. Okay. Love a good percussionist. All right.
I moved on to guitar around like 11 when I noticed that mostly like on TV it was like the main thing with guitars. So I was like, Dad, I want one. So he bought me one. Then from there on I just didn't know what I was doing and figured it out somehow. Some weird way I figured it out.
Did that include a lot of training or?
Yeah, I was playing almost all the time. Like, I would go to school, think about words that I wanted to include into whatever I was doing. Then I'd just kind of strum the guitar really aggressively until something sounded nice enough to create.
Okay. And what age did you start singing? Of course, that's what I want to know. Where'd the singing come into play? Come on.
Well, I was singing to like my favorite tunes really loudly at the age of 6, and I realized like I really love that, so I just kind of trained from there.
Mhm.
Did I sound good? No, it took a while, but I hope I sound decent now.
I know. Don't you hate when you like watch these TV shows like I don't like the X Factor or like America's Got Talent, and there's some like 8-year-old kid that's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I worked 20 more years than you have at this, and you're already better than I am. What is that about? Come on now. Doesn't that drive you crazy? Well, you're much younger than I am, but
Yeah, but like I still see that now, you know, like even my sister, she's a much better singer than I am, and she's only 12, so she was just kind of like born with that extra, yeah, you could do it. No, I still have to work.
what's your sister's name?
Chantal. Chantal?
Chantel?
Yeah.
Shout out to Chantel. Okay, and then from there, started playing guitar. Do you play bass?
Yeah, I
You play everything, don't you?
yeah.
All right, I see you. I know your type.
What kind of music do you play? Do you have genre or you're like all over?
Yeah, I think I'm all over.
I was just gonna get on Dina's case. I hate genre labeling,
Well,
but it's cool. It's a valid question. I get that.
Yeah.
No, I feel like a lot of people
Question.
like to put like people in boxes, and I don't think that's what you're doing. But that bothers
I
me.
asked the question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I started with like rock,
Uh-huh.
emo, what I'd call. Although it's not really a genre, but you know, like really heavy rock, sad rock. And I moved to pop punk, and then I skipped pop. I wasn't really a fan of pop, I guess, at my age of 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I just moved into like acoustic indie, and I did that for most of like my high school career. Then I met another guitar player, and we decided to make a band together, and now we just play really like indie garage rock.
Mm-hmm.
I still do my solo stuff, which I'd consider like indie, not acoustic anymore, although it used to be really acoustic and mellow, I'd say.
I love that you don't want a specific genre. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Because when people ask me, I feel like I have to. Because, man, I get all the time, like, everything like I don't want to be. And people are like, it has to be something. So now sometimes I just tell people pop. Because, man, you could be pop rock. You could be pop R&B. R&B and soul is my favorite. You could be pop
Yeah.
country. Like you could really do anything. So that's what I tell people.
I guess
Just
pop's
to
the
shut them
easiest because you could be all over. You could be
Yeah.
pop anything.
It's like I might want to cut a dance record
But of
next
course,
week.
like, why? Yeah, don't put yourself in a box. Like, nobody should have to.
And we're
be in a
gonna hear
box,
some of that stuff
obviously.
later.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should.
I don't think anybody should be in a box.
We're gonna hear some of that stuff later, which I'm super, super, super excited to hear.
Yeah, I'm
Aren't
excited
you?
Too.
Is this the first live musical performance on
yeah,
the show?
because the last time somebody performed on the show was the week that there was the Zaria, the drag queen, did the performance, but that was the week I wasn't here. So yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, we've never had a musician.
Yeah, I don't think so yet.
So I've never been here for a live performance.
Well, congratulations, you're the first. How you feel? How you feel about it?
I don't know. I feel pretty excited. Yeah.
So what would you rather talk about first? You want to talk a little bit more about music first? You want to talk about your transition? Because I have a lot of musical questions for you too. Sorry, I know it's called Trans Talk. We're gonna get to that, but Jeff
No,
has a lot of
actually,
musical questions.
It's completely fine because in my eyes, those two go hand in hand with my situation. So
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I have some
we're getting
questions
somewhere.
too.
All right, you want to start?
Yeah.
Let's start with whatever you have going.
I mean,
Use your voice, Dina. Come on.
Yeah. How old were you? Like when did you first like I don't know, like feel different or feel like
kindergarten.
kindergarten?
Yeah, I went to a Catholic school, and before coming out as trans, I kind of just labeled myself as like, I guess, lesbian.
I went through the same thing. I mean, yeah, I just labeled myself as gay, and then like I realized that like
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I noticed I was different because like in kindergarten I was really trying to, I guess I liked this girl, and I like, you know, ran to the front of the school, stole flowers from where they were planting, and then like I gave it to her. I was like, I think you're really pretty, and she was just like, thanks, I think. And,
That's awesome, because that was going to be one of my questions, and you answered it. No, because I was going to say, do you consider yourself a male that likes women, or, you know, because, man, it's not that black and white. There's such a broad
Yeah.
spectrum.
I honestly, when I first came out as trans, I labeled myself as straight, but like as time went on, I kind of like realized like guess I'm just still figuring myself out. You know, I haven't figured myself out fully.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it all takes time.
Yeah.
Like figuring out.
What's that Baz Luhrmann, the speech he did that was made into a song about everybody's free to wear sunscreen? He says something along the lines of, okay, so we had some technical difficulties. Right, here we are, back
Yes,
with
we
part
did.
2.
Here we are.
I'm in my phone right now. I'm sorry, I'm sharing it because we got to get everybody that
Welcome
couldn't be
back
here
to
tonight
joining.
live. And we're good now. All right, cool. So I was saying about that Baz Luhrmann like wrote a speech that ended up becoming a song. It was a really, really big hit in the 90s, and it was everybody's free to wear sunscreen. And he said something along the lines of like, you know, some interesting 22-year-olds, you know, that I knew, you know, didn't know what they wanted to do with their lives or, you know, where they were. Some of those interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. So I think that's super cool that you take that approach to it. Dina, you had a question that you wanted to ask, right? Musically?
Yeah. So music, I'm sure it helped you through your transition. Yes.
So much. So not even just the transition, just like things in life. You know.
It gave you probably like a safe space or something to go to.
It gave me the space I needed.
Well, that's always great too, because a lot of artists are just. If you're an artist and you have a wall up, I'm sorry, you're never going to get to the place you need to be. So if you're an artist and you judge other people or you close things off, let it go. That's it. Do you find that you, some of your material that you write is about your experience, either coming out as trans, your transition, or do you find that it's subjects that everybody writes about, like, you know, heartbreak or family. Because I know I personally, like, music, when you write, it's not always as clear. Like, sometimes somebody can take it a completely different way. I've written about family relationships, work relationships that sucked, through the eyes of somebody else in a tough situation, and people take it a completely other way. Do you find that you do the same? Do you find that you write a lot about, like I said, like your transition or your, you know, coming out as trans, or do you find that you mostly write about things that everyday people write about?
I noticed with what all my songs have in common is that they're pretty sad, just about all of them. And I also...
Oh, I'm there with you. Oh, I love a sad song. Everybody thinks there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, me too.
Make me want to just curl up in my bed and not get out.
I love those.
Yeah.
They're just my favorite. I feel like they're just so honest, and that's what's important to me in my writing. I actually only recently wrote my first song about my transition, and other than that, like, they were all just, like, I guess, me battling my depression with transitioning and not transitioning, and just being stuck.
Yeah, it shouldn't have to be that way. I mean, we all, like, sometimes we have something bigger inside that's bothering us or that we're dealing with, and that would take it out on the little shit.
Yeah.
Like stubbing your toe, or
yeah.
or a friend saying something you didn't like, or Dina knows all about that.
I'm always saying
Let Dina not help me with something. Let Dina be hanging out and not helping me at work, and I had something big go on that day, she gonna hear it.
I will always hear it.
Okay, I have so many questions. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm taking over. I want to know, so you are, you know, fairly into your transition, which includes testosterone and a whole bunch of things. How do you find, and this is kind of a question for both, I'm going to start with Eden, but how do you find the voice change going? How has that been for you? Socially, and how people perceive the way that you speak, and it, you know, reassuring them that you are a male, and also as a singer, because that has to be, because I know anybody that sings or speaks or whatever, puberty was hard, y'all. Puberty, I was squeaking, and I was tame compared to my boys. I was crying over a squeak or two, and they were squeaking every other sentence. So I feel like it has to be, you know, maybe not completely the same, but it has to be similar. So, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. With music, I really had to change up my style, because before testosterone, like, my voice just was really high, so I had to sing, like, really, like, you know, like, falsetto notes, and, like, I'd do a lot of, like, what I'd call girly, although I try to avoid those, like, terms like that, but, like, that's the only way I can really describe it at this moment. Yeah, and then with testosterone, you know, I was trying to sing songs that I wrote years ago, and then they were just sounding weird, and I was like, what's going on here? And I couldn't hit the same notes, and I had to figure out what note I wanted to hit in exchange of that, and, like, actually even the... Or
change the key, or...
Yeah. The two songs...
Because you could always keep changing the key. That's
Yeah.
the great thing about the...
With key change, I feel like sometimes it just changes the mood of the song.
It
so
loses it. I got you on that.
I really do try to avoid it, but with the two songs I'm gonna perform later, I wrote 2 years ago, and I chose to do those songs because I wrote 2 years ago, which I was in a completely different state, especially even in my transition, where I wasn't even like taking any testosterone or just anything at all. I just came out as trans, and that was about it, which, you know, wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. So the songs were just like there. And
do you find like a break, like a different break, like a harsher break with your chest voice and your, you know, head voice or falsetto, or
my falsetto?
Yeah,
definitely.
It's harder.
Yeah.
Weaker.
It's definitely.
Because
weaker.
as a woman, your head voice is usually super strong, and for a man, that's why it usually sounds interesting.
Yeah. My chest voice has gotten really powerful though, like compared to where it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking to one of my friends the other day, and like I hadn't really sung to her in a while. So when she heard it, she was like, "You sound completely different, and you even like sound better in a sense." And that hearing that really made me feel better because I was worried. Those were one of my main like worries when I was transitioning. I was like, what if I can never sing again? You know, it just won't sound the same, or this, that, and the other.
And for a lot of people who are uneducated, your vocal cords, they're a muscle. Like a muscle in your body. So that's like a complete and total different change. And if you don't know like what head voice and chest voice is, or chest voice and falsetto, like it's the way your vocal folds move, it's completely two different things. So one weakening and one strengthening is a major change. So that's an adjustment. And how do you feel? Because this is how I want to move on to Dina, because she could totally add to this. How do you find socially? Do you find that you specifically use your voice in a specific way when talking to other people, or do you feel like you try and tap more into like your lower voice, or do you, if you don't mind my asking?
No, it's completely fine. With strangers, I tend to lower my voice more. And when I'm with people like I'm comfortable with, I use my regular, I guess, voice. But everyone I know has been extraordinarily supportive of like me and like my transition. So every time I see someone I haven't seen in a while, they're like, "Wow, your voice has gotten so deeper. I'm so proud of you." This, that, and it's honestly like it's one of the best things I could hear. It really does make my day because it's exactly what I'd like out of my voice.
That's fucking awesome. I like hearing the support thing. What's your, because this is completely different.
Well, yeah.
Dina has a completely different situation.
Testosterone, it'll make his voice deeper, but for me, it doesn't, the estrogen, it won't change my voice. So.
At all?
No, it's not supposed to change your voice. I mean, people say my voice has changed, but I don't think it has. I think what happens is that I can like will myself to change. Like if I'm paying attention, like you'll notice sometimes like my voice will get higher or like it won't be. But like if I'm around you or Shinko, like Robert, people that I know, JC, like people that I know, like I don't pay as much attention to it. But like if we're out or I'm somewhere, like I'll pay attention to my voice because I want it to be like higher. So I can change it on my own, but like the estrogen won't change it. Like the testosterone will change his voice.
What? I didn't know that. I completely and totally thought that the estrogen had to change your voice.
No, it won't. Like they gave me a list like in the beginning of stuff that will change and like what it is, and it says that it won't change. It's not supposed to change my voice. Everything, other things, they give you like a time limit for like breast growth or like whatever, like fat redistribution. But the voice for me, for male to female, it won't change.
So that's all completely you're doing. Like that's a focus of it. Is something that you focus on.
I mean, I don't think. I think in the beginning I was focusing on it more. I think now it just comes naturally. Like I think that I've trained myself so much that it is what it is.
All right, cool. Well, you also decided comfortably to transition a little bit later in life too.
Yeah, I knew when I was like little.
Yeah.
Like I had feelings about it. But when I was younger and like I was like 10 or whatever, like it was a different time. Like 15 years ago, trans wasn't as accepted as it is now. So, like,
how proud do you feel about that?
I always had the feeling, but like now it's
how times have changed.
Yeah,
so proud. Honestly, like it's not even just the pride that's changed; it's the support of like allies and everyone, really. Like my mom, she's still learning about the like trans stuff, but she's one of my biggest supporters. And every time I see her, she's like, "When are you gonna get top surgery? I'd like to see that all come off now." It's great, honestly.
Amazing. So, do you have anything else you want to ask? Because I was gonna ask about the music. I think it's time to get right into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. You want to explain anything about or you want to explain it before you play each tune? Because you're going to do 2 tunes for us, right? Because Jeff was supposed to do one tonight and plans fell through, so he's gonna do 2.
Yes, I want to hear it.
All right, who's ready? All right, let's
Ready.
get set up. You want to come sit over here?
No, I think my guitar will be like all weird.
Okay.
I prefer this chair.
All right. We're at Live on Air, 335 Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn, just a couple blocks from the Barclays Center.
It's an amazing place. It's amazing food.
Joe is the best.
Amazing drinks. I love Joe.
Yes, I've been here many times to support the show, not be on the show, and he's the best. So anybody who wants to host an event here, come down, check out what's going on. Because Dina Marie and JC Best are here every Sunday night.
Every Sunday at 8.
At 8 o'clock. Last week 8:30, but we don't go into that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Oops.
You want to do a little check first, quick?
Welcome.
Check, check. Is there any way I could get just a little bit more reverb? Check. Check 1, 2.
We brought you live music tonight.
My guitar, just a little bit louder. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you want.
She got joke show.
So this first song is actually called Hope. It's one of my only slightly happy songs.
All right.
Yeah, I wrote it when I was in a weird state of like being really sad but being really happy at the same time. So I didn't really write this for myself either. It was more of a, like the people around me kind of needed to hear this. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Eden Quintero.
Just a little louder for the guitar, please. I walk the only path, it's a lonely one, and that's fast. I have depression, it's not my choice to feel that way, and it's not for attention. Stop assuming that my sadness is chosen. Stop assuming that my future is golden. You know nothing, no one knows a thing. I distract myself most of the time. Best at pretending that I am fine. If I am strong enough to rest my weary eyes, minding myself that tonight, like every night, I'll cry to sleep. My thoughts too deep, the words they say and I'll keep. I try for myself, but no one knows how much. You know that nothing is easy, to fight for everything. I distract myself most of the time. Best I pretending that I'm alive. If I am strong enough to rest my weary eyes, minding myself that tonight, like every night, I cry to sleep. My thoughts too deep, the words they say and I'll keep. Repeat after me, hear what I speak. I am okay and I will be fine one day. Repeat after me, hear what I speak. I am okay and I will be fine one day. I am okay and I will be fine one day. You are okay and you will be fine one day. This next one is it's weird. It's really just like one of those breakup songs, I guess, but just like a love breakup song, I guess. The first time I ever played this song was at Baruch College for the LGBT Pride Month, so exactly like a year ago.
Be weird, come on.
It's still love with each sigh, with space you take up in my mind that I can't replace you. Left me to fend for myself with brutal honesty and inside of my wrongs, but no, I still love you despite the words you cut with my knife deep in my soul that scarred my mind and destroyed my body. But I still have hope that despite my broken mind, I can fit my shattered pieces, fix the gap that I caused between us, between us. Is it still strangers if I still know everything there is to know about you, yeah. Try to replace that knowledge with someone else, though it never works, Yeah, it
cut with my knife deep in my soul. I scarred my mind and destroyed my body, but I still have hope that despite my broken mind, I can fit my shattered pieces, fix the gap that I caused between us, between us. I can't breathe, my lungs are way too full with all I've had to drink. I just wanna speak, but no one's listening. I can't breathe, my lungs are way too full with all I've had to drink. I just wanna speak, but no one's listening. I still love you. I still love you. I still love you. I still love you. Too muscle memory. I still love you. I still love you. Too muscle memory.
Yeah. Give it up. That was awesome. How exciting was this episode?
I very much loved it.
So fun. Eden, where can we find you?
Facebook, Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle? Give us
My
all the
Instagram
details.
is, the details for my music?
All of it.
I don't have a page, so it's just like shoot me a friend request. Just my name, Eden Quintero. My Instagram is the Garden of Ed with an extra E. That's about it. I really haven't released anything yet. So.
Okay. Cool. Dino, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Dina Marie Martin, on Instagram at Fabulous Dina Marie, on Snapchat at Fabulous Lady D.
That was awesome.
I very much.
I'm so sad I didn't perform anything now today. I'm gonna have to come back on the show.
That was really great. I really
that was
the
so
first
good.
Show, like the first song, I really I connected to it. I felt something. So it's really good.
Thank you.
You can find me on Facebook at Jeff Manno, and Instagram at Jeff Manno, YouTube the Jeff Manno, and where can we find Trans Talk?
And of course, you can find Trans Talk on Facebook, Trans Talk with JC Best and Dina Marie. And you can find it on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at Trans Talk Radio.
And you can find JC trolling people at a city near you. And they'll be back next Sunday at 8 o'clock, live on air, 335 Flatbush Avenue. We'll see you at Caroline's. The Lit Empire will see you, Dina and JC. Anything
Can't
else?
wait to see it. No, that's it. Also, if you have any questions for Trans Talk, you can email us at transtalkradio@gmail.com.
Thanks again, Eden. Thank y'all.
Trans Talk.